Please, if you have not done it so far, if you can please sign up for the STEP program. Yes, the link is below. We're working with your school to provide you these videos. This is how we get our funding. All you have to do is sign up. Okay, thanks. Please sign up.
Hello, class. Today we will be doing Unit 2, Lab 3 of Making Decisions in Beauty of Joy Computing. In life, there are so many decisions. Like, should I eat a hot dog today? Yes or no? You see what I did there? That's a boolean. A boolean is a data type that represented by either true or false, yes or no, or 0 and 1. And that is the basic building blocks of everything that is computers, zeros and ones, decisions that are just either yes or no, true or false. The other terms that are good to remember is domain and range. Now, the domain of a function is the same thing as saying the input to the function. It's what's going into the function. The range of a function is the same thing as saying what is the output of a function. So, domain, input, range is output. And now let's think about the function itself, right? The function is the decision-making process, give you an output or an answer. So let's take my hot dog eating example. Should I eat a hot dog? The domain of this function, the input, is yes or no. Should I eat a hot dog? Yes. Should I eat a hot dog? No. The function itself is the decision-making process of eating a hot dog. Here, let's call this function eat hot dog with an input 1 and an input 2. And based on those inputs, it will return a Boolean output. The output or range of the function is the data you get after the function processes the information it receives from the inputs. So should I eat a hot dog? Brain crunching function. Input 1. Is eating a hot dog good for my health? No. Input 2. Will a hot dog make my stomach feel great? No. Output or range. Should I eat a hot dog? No. The function itself decided, based on the inputs, that I should not eat a hot dog. A predicate asks a question where the answer is true or false. In computer science, this question comes in the form of a function. The result or output of the function is true or false or yes or no. The true or false, yes or no data type is a Boolean. Predicate, function, input, outputs, and all are Booleans. In today's lesson in Beauty of Joy Computing, they are asking you what a predicate is. Now, a predicate are reporter blocks or functions that always report a Boolean value. They report the values of true or false. In Snap, predicates are represented by these hexagonal blocks. They compute the condition used by conditionals, such as if else, or repeat until. And then they decide to do something. Now let's try to understand this using Snap. So I'm going to have our little guy right here. He is going to ask some questions. He's going to run a predicate function, and we're going to use an if or else statement in order to run that function. So let's start out with the little when green flag is clicked. We are going to create a variable, and that variable, we're going to call it random number. Random number variable. Okay, for all sprites, looks good. So we created the random number variable. That way we can see the random number right here. We set the random number to 0 after the green flag is clicked, so that from the beginning, the random number is set to 0 when we rerun the script in the future. Now we'll go to looks, and we're going to have our little guy say, computer will pick a random number from 1 to 4. Okay. And we'll have this set for, let's say, 3 seconds. Then we'll write something else. We'll say picking random number. We want our audience to really know what's going on. Well, we'll let that go for 2 seconds. Now we go back to our variables, and then we're going to set the random number variable, right? And then we go to operators, and we're going to do pick random number from 1 to 4, right? Then we're going to wait 2 seconds. We just want things to run smoothly. After that, we're going to do back looks. We're going to say running predicate function. Predicate function, right? And then the predicate function is going to be the if or else statement. So if or else. So these are the ones that are predicates, the if else, and there's another one, repeat until. So let's do the if else. So if, and now this is the Boolean statement. You can even see it here. It can do the check plus or minus, green or red, you know? So that means it has to be a true or false statement. But we're going to put something in there. And you can put an operator or a comparison. It's some kind of question that can either be true or false. So if our random number is equal to 3, right? We're going to run that predicate. That's the predicate, right? And then if that random number is 3, we're going to say something. So we're going to say random number is 3. 3 for 2 seconds. If it is not, right? If the random number is not 3, we can have it do the else. In that case, we're going to say random number is not 3 for 2 seconds. All right, so let's just go ahead and press the green flag. Computer will pick a random number from 1 to 4. Pick a number. Running predicate function. Random number is 3. And we can tell that that's true because the random number here is 3. But the important part is to understand this part right here. This is the predicate. A true false statement, right? Random number equals 3. And then if it's true, you're going to do this. Say random number is 3. If not, you're going to do this. Say random number is not 3. And there you go. All right, we're going to take the other example from the predicates page, and the one where we can draw with our mouse by moving our sprite around, and we'll be able to draw something. So let's go ahead and set that program up. So we're going to do when green flag is clicked, right? And then we're going to have a forever loop. And one of the things we're going to want to know for this is where our mouse X and mouse Y values are. So here we can click on them, and we'll bring them out here too, right? So if I move my pointer, right, if I move my pointer over here, you can see mouse X is negative 188, mouse Y is 100. If we go to the center, it's going to be 0, 0. It's kind of hard to get exactly 0, 0, but you can see that. If we go to the right, right, mouse X increases. If we go to the left, mouse X decreases in the negative area, right? In terms of mouse Y, if we go up, mouse Y increases. If we go down, mouse Y decreases into negative numbers, right? So you can think of this as a quadrants, right? Positive on this, positive on to the right and to up. All right, so we have mouse X, mouse Y, right? And we're gonna set this sprite to go to wherever the pointer is. So that is in motion, right? So go to mouse pointer. And now we're gonna wanna put the pen down, right? We're gonna wanna put the pen down. And if we just run this, right, we're just gonna be drawing as we do, right? Okay, we can stop it, but now, right, we're gonna wanna clear that every time we start the program. So when when green flag is clicked, it's gonna clear that, so perfect. And then in the forever loop, go to mouse pointer, pen down, that's perfect. But let's do this. Let's change the color depending on the value of mouse X and of mouse X for right now. So we're going to go to an if statement, an if else, right? So we're going to go to if else. So, and now we go to an operator, right? So if mouse X is greater than, say 0, no, let's do something else. If greater than 50, right? Let's set the pen color. We're gonna set the pen color to this red. Else, if it's less than 50, we're gonna set it to, oops, down here, set it to the color green. Okay, so let's try it out. We press the green flag. So, okay, there we go. So once it hits less than 50, it turns green. Once it's more than 50, it turns red. All right. So now we could do that with mouse Y, right? So we don't have to use mouse X. We could use mouse Y. Same thing. So let's press the green flag. So now it's up and down. There you go. So this is the program that you can do. Let's pause it for a second. Let's see if we have any other options. Well, what we could do is we could compound this, right? So we can add different operators, right? We can say if mouse X is greater than 50 and, right, and mouse Y, and mouse Y is greater than 50, right? Change the color to this red. Otherwise, do the green. Let's see what we get, right? So here, right, it's only in this quadrant where it's gonna be red because it has to be more than 50x and more than 50y, right? So you can play around with this, right? This is an and statement, right? But it's still a Boolean because the question is if mouse X is greater than 50 and mouse X is greater than 50. I mean mouse Y and mouse X, right? So they both have to be true for this whole statement to be true. It doesn't have to be an and statement. We could do an or statement, right? Let's bring this in, and let's bring this guy in. So let's start from the beginning. So if mouse Y is over 50 or mouse X is over 50. Okay, so let's see where it turns. You see, it's different, right? So it's gonna be, we can really start to see where this changes color, right? Especially if we go like this, like crazy. So it's right around here, right, where the changes are. If mouse X has to be greater than 50 or mouse Y is greater than 50, right? So this is a really So you can compound it. It could be an or statement, an and statement, but either way, you're going to have a true or false answer. So the function is the if function, right? And the function, what the function does in this case, either turns the pen green or turns the pen red. So there you go. Those are two ways to look at predicates and Boolean
Input
functions.
outputs and all our Booleans. See you next time. Bye.